The other day, I was reading a story about solar panels. And as always, you're flipping through the comments. And like there always is, there was a comment, somebody who's saying, solar panels are a complete waste of time. They'll never be able to provide enough energy to power the country. You'd need to pave an entire state over with solar panels just to produce enough electricity to make a difference. Comments like that always drive me crazy because typically it seems like they're made from somebody that's got really no idea what they're talking about, or they think that oil's the way to go and clean diesel and all those things. And normally you can just scroll past those people, right? For some reason, this one got me. And I realized I'd never actually done the math myself on this to figure out maybe they're right and I'm wrong. I don't know. But that's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to take the time and actually math it out and see how many solar panels would it take to replace the energy consumption of the United States. Now, as I looked around online, there are some people that have done this before, but they were older numbers. I think 2016 was the earliest I found, or I'm sorry, the latest I found. And this industry is growing like crazy. We're getting more efficient with our solar panels, and our inverters are getting better. So I wanted to do fresh numbers. So here we go. Again, the primary question that we're trying to answer here is how many solar panels would it take to replace the United States energy consumption? So here's the research that I did. In 2019, the United States consumed 100 quadrillion, 165 trillion, 395 billion BTUs worth of energy. Now, you may be thinking, wait, BTUs, we're talking about electricity. What are you talking about BTUs for? Okay, so here's the deal. When you talk about just energy consumed, we consume a lot more energy other than electricity, right? You put fuel in your car, well, that's consuming energy, but that's not necessarily electricity. Or you turn on your gas-powered stove, again, it's energy, but it's not electricity. So to try to put everything on the same scale, the US converts all of its energy consumption to BTUs. So that includes nuclear power, coal power, gas power, renewables, wind, everything, BTUs. Now, if you were to convert that to watts, so if everything were electricity, it would be 29 quadrillion, 374 trillion, 16 billion, 129 million, 32,300 watts. So that was our complete energy consumption in 2019 for the United States. Now, what if it was just electricity though? If we only wanted to use solar panels to replace our electricity consumption, that number is quite a bit smaller. That's basically 37 quadrillion, 100 trillion BTUs, or 10 quadrillion, 879 trillion, 765 billion, 395,894,400 watts. Okay, so basically two different numbers. We're just going to say 29.3 quads for all of our energy consumption and 10.8 quads for just our electricity consumption. So that's easy. So next we got to find out how much wattage a solar panel can generate in a year. All right, the average residential solar panel can generate about 320 watts per hour. So 240 on the low end, 400 on the high end. I've got links to these in the notes. So average those together, 320 watts per hour. Next, how many hours of sunlight average in the US? Basically came to 2,440 hours of sunlight in the US. Okay, now I know we're doing averages here. I know that Alaska gets a lot less sunlight than Florida. I get it, but just work with me. So we know how many watts a solar panel can produce in an hour. We know how many hours of sunlight there are in a day. Times those together, times 365, and you get an average solar panel in an average place in the US is going to produce 780,000 watts of electricity in a year. Now we know how many watts. How big's a solar panel? Typical residential solar panel is 17.6 square feet. You get where the math is going here. So the number of solar panels that the US would need to have in place, that this commenter said would take up an entire state. You'd have to pave it over, an entire state of solar panels. Okay, now let's just do the electricity consumption, okay? Number of solar panels to replace the electricity is 13,934,125,763 solar panels. Okay? That for a total amount of square footage is 240,240,613,432 square feet of solar panels. That sounds like a lot, right? Well, at that size, let's go to square miles. Now, keep in mind there are 27,878,400 square feet in a square mile. So you divide that out, and we would need 8,797 square miles of solar panels. Sounds like a big number. Sounds like a lot of square miles, right? Here's a little reminder for you. The U.S. has 3,797,000 square miles. That's a lot of square miles. So we would only need 8,797 square miles for the electricity replacement. Okay? We can do better than that. Let's run the numbers. I'm not going to do the whole thing because you can follow along if you want, but in order to do our total energy replacement. So if we wanted to replace all of our coal power plants, all of our nuclear power plants, all of our everything, total energy consumption, the U.S. would only need 23,750 square miles of solar panels. Now again, that sounds like a lot, right? And normally what you see in videos like this or pictures or whatever, you say, I'm going to build a square that's 23,000 square miles, and I'm going to put it in the middle of Arizona just to show you how small it is compared to the U.S. Well, that sounds great unless you live in Arizona and you just lost 23,000 square miles of your state. So instead, what if we divided that up per state? Again, I get that Rhode Island is not feeling love right now, whereas California's like, sure, we got no problem with that. So just work with the averages, would you? So you got 23,750 divided by 50 gives you 475 square miles. 475 square miles of solar panels. That's it. Now, you start taking into account how many people have solar panels on their roof. How many people have solar panels in their parking garages, things like that. All of a sudden, 475 square miles of solar panels over an entire state is nothing. Here's something else to look at. Total square feet of solar panels required per person. There are 328,200,000 people in the U.S., roughly. So, divide that. Each person only needs 2,017 square feet of solar panels. 2,017 square feet, right? That's nothing. When you think about, first of all, rooftop solar panels. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, look, I live in an apartment building. I can't do rooftop. Okay, that's fine. But now you look at industrial complexes that have solar panels on their roof. You got parking garages that have solar panels on their roof. To have 2,017 square feet of solar panels per person is so completely doable. Completely doable. Now, there are other obstacles that we need to overcome. We need battery storage because, unfortunately, I use electricity 24 hours a day, not just when the sun's out. So we need to solve the battery problem. Guess what? We're getting better and better at batteries. The solar industry is improving very quickly, but nothing compared to the battery industry. The battery industry is growing like crazy. Thank you very much, Elon Musk. My point is, next time somebody tells you, oh, solar panels are a complete waste of time, we don't have the space for solar panels, blah, blah, blah. First of all, just politely smile because we don't need any more contention in this country right now. And then send them the link to this video. When you're looking at 2,017 square feet per person or 475 square miles per state, guys, this is a solvable problem. This is a very solvable problem. So thanks very much for watching the video. Feel free to like and subscribe. Also, you can go to themightyelectron.com, check out some more videos or comment on this. Let me hear what you think. Was my math way off, or did I forget about something? Is the story better than this? Is it worse than this? Tell me what you think. Thanks very much. We'll see you around.